chula and chicks from New York. Real talk, no boca. You should be with la negra and la loca. Why so serious?
No, why you so serious?
Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
No, how does Nayeli go? Woohoo! So today's topic is
No topic.
no topic. We're just rambling to talk.
Let me see that. Show everybody. Aww.
This is my, I don't know if you guys can see it, my baby. You probably can't see it well, but that's my baby Roxy.
My Roxy Who. That's what I call her.
And she's a pit bull. I have two pit bulls actually. That's both of them together. I don't know if you can see. You can see my sister in the background. But that's my Roxy. She's the older one, and then this is my Rocco. He's a bully, and she's just a regular pit. And they're so cute. I got them outfits, as you can see, but it doesn't fit them.
Pajamas.
And it fits them exact but tight. And I just let them like they having a cape on. But they're very playful dogs. Very, how do you describe them? They're playful. They're very energetic.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're afraid of my daughter.
Oh yeah, they're afraid of the little one. Every time she comes over my house, they run.
Like, run and hide, the baby's here.
Especially the bully. The bully pit bull, he'll run for her. He'll run for their life. But they are two mushy dogs. And I just hate the fact when we do go take them for walks, people walk across the street and they run from them. I know they're pit bulls, but not pit bulls are bad. It's the way you train them. Mm-hmm. And these two dogs are like the most lovable dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes too lovable. And they both act like they weigh 2 pounds.
Sometimes it's the smaller ones that are more aggressive.
Oh yeah, the little chihuahuas.
Especially. Chihuahuas I don't like. I never like chihuahuas. I like dogs. Chihuahuas is one thing I would not. I mean, unless they're mixed. Because I'm not going to lie. A few years back, I did have a dog. Her name was Mia. Cutest thing ever. Mm-hmm. She was half pit, half chihuahua. But
she was more like a pit looking.
Yeah, she was more like a pit looking. She was more active like a pit too. Because she was very hyper. But very lovable. Very lovable.
They're great with the kids. Especially with my autistic niece. Because she likes to
be rough
on them. And
they're very gentle on her.
Yeah, they're very gentle on her. And let's see if I see more pictures of them. Oh, and then the bully dog, Rocco, he loves sleeping with me. Ever since I got sick in April, because he was not necessarily he wasn't close to me, but he wasn't as the way he is now. And April, he's been attached to my hip. He does not leave my side. Look at him. He's on my bed. I don't know if you can see him. But he's always by my side. And then he sleeps like this. If you can see him. So on the pillow on his back. My bad. Look, I'm covering your face.
No respect. No respect.
I don't know if you can see the light in here. I don't know. You can see. Okay, you can see his face here. That's my door in the background. And look at him laying down. He's a good baby. And then this is my first baby, Roxy. I don't know why she didn't look too happy there. But they're good dogs. And then this is the Rocco. He was on the sofa laying like that on his back, just like smiling. But Rocco is the one who's been with me, like just with me. He hasn't left me alone. You know, I don't like the dog sleeping on the bed, but after a while, I just gave up. And then I definitely don't like them on the sofa. And look at him. He was on the sofa. I caught him. And afterwards, I yelled at him to get off. He was startled.
I don't have any dogs.
No.
I would have liked, but it's just too much.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Only thing you will have trouble is like with kids. Like if you want to go somewhere, go on vacation, and you can't take them, you have to find a sitter. Oh, I remember I had a cat a couple years ago, and my friend watched my cat for like a week. That's the first time I think I went to Puerto Rico. And
Poor chick. That's all I gotta say.
And we didn't know, and she didn't know. She's allergic to cats. And I felt so terrible for her. Because when I picked up, who was it? Tabitha? Yeah, I think she watched Tabitha. And she did not look pretty when I picked her up. Her eyes were puffballs. Her face was all red. She was sneezing. And I just felt so terrible. But I was grateful she was able to watch the cat. And I would have told my parents to watch the cat or one of my sisters. But they couldn't. And my mom's allergic to cats. So I was like...
So is my son.
Yeah,
My older son.
Yeah, my nephew, he's allergic. So I want to do it to them. But my friend was willing to do it. And she's like, yeah, I'll watch the cats. And then we found out she likes to eat. Well, no, I knew she liked to eat bread. And I forgot to tell my friends that she likes to poke at the loaf of bread and pokes holes in it and eats the bread. So my friend found out a loaf of bread on her floor, half eaten. And she was hanging on my friend's curtains. She likes curtains for some reason. I don't know why.
A lot of cats do.
Yeah. But unfortunately, she passed away and she got hit by a car. Yeah. That's the only thing that's like, it's not really a downfall, but sometimes it's a bothersome. And especially with my pit bulls, they're big dogs and they're mushy and they like a lot of attention. So that's about it. Oh, and my sister had a parrot. Parrot, right? No, bird. What kind of bird you had?
It was from the parrot family. It was a contour.
A contour?
A contour.
Is it
It was a green cheek contour. It's part of the parrot family. They're just a little bit smaller. But yeah.
I remember he used to
It was
fly
my
hair.
dog. We got him when he was a baby. He was like very small. I think he was only a few months old. I believe he was like 7-8 months old when we got him. And yeah, that was my baby. I mean, he loved me, like to the point where he used to just fly in my hair and try to make a nest in my hair, even though he got tangled up and he couldn't get himself out. He used to follow me to the bathroom. Right? There were times he wanted to shower with me, and I didn't want to, and all I would see was his beak underneath the door. Sometimes I just would let him shower with me. Anywhere I went, he would follow me everywhere. Kitchen, especially when he knew I was cooking. He would fly right to my shoulder, and we would both look in the refrigerator and see what we can find. Give him some cheese and some fruit. He loved that. Yeah, he was always in the kitchen with me all the time, smelling my food, trying to pick at my meat. He was also a coffee drinker. We had to hide the coffee from him. You know,
like pure coffee
like
grinds?
pure, no, like coffee.
It's
like,
already made coffee.
If it's already made, he'll fly to the cup and try to drink the cup of coffee. Yeah, we've caught him doing that. At the time my daughter was, she had just turned 2, but she was still drinking out of the bottle. And we caught him trying to drink from her bottle. We had holes in it. Sometimes it was like we didn't know if it was her that was making the holes in the bottle, because she used to do that, or it was the bird. It was a smart bird, let me tell you though. It wouldn't speak, but it will make. At the time when I got it, it started mimicking the water faucet. When the water turned on, it will mimic the water and going down, and then the sound of the microwave, until it started mimicking me. When I say good morning, it would start, and I'll start kissing at it, and it was, so I'm like good morning, so it'll go right back. He grew to be very, very jealous afterwards. He didn't want no one near me. Anybody get near me, he would try to peck at them. So it was, unfortunately, my parrot had died at a very young age, a year old. I can't say what happened to it, but
It was tragic.
it was very tragic. Yes, and he died. He died in my older daughter's hands. That was very tragic for her, because she's very attached to that bird as well. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having another bird. I trained it too. I trained it to use the bathroom, because it kept pooping everywhere, and then
Especially her hair.
it pooped in my hair one time, and I got so angry at him. I punished him. He felt bad, and then
Smart bird.
he flew right into his cage.
He knows he was in trouble.
Ever since, every time he had to use the bathroom, he'll go to his cage and use it.
Oh, and then I had to tell you about Cheez-Its. There was something in the Cheez-Its that you can't not give dogs. And I had a few experience with it, because my son, who's a big old kid, and my son keeps giving it to them, they get gassy. Oh my gosh. I know, I never knew dogs could fart. The farts that were coming out these dogs, my babies. Oh my God, they were just smelling that. I was gagging in the room, but the smell that came out of them, it was like, are you kidding me? It was like a grown man farting.
Cheez-Its, I just had some.
Yeah. And these dogs love Cheez-Its. Well, the dogs like anything, but I like the way they crunch, because they sound cute when they crunch. But anyways, I don't give them Cheez-Its. I give them chips
cute.
sometimes. No, the potato chips, you can hear them crunching. They sound cute. You gotta hear them. Anyway, so my son gave him some last week. Confronted my son the next morning, and I asked him, did you give the dogs Cheez-It? Yeah, I gave them Cheez-It. The smell, and I think they were gassy till like 3 days later. They were that gassy. But that's the only thing that really, I think, that bothers their stomach, because they eat pretty much anything, and I don't see them getting gassy like that. Even with beans, I don't see them getting gassy like that.
My dog did. So, as I mentioned, my daughter, she had just turned 2. So her and the dog were like besties. They would do everything together. They were like stuck like this.
They were like brother and sister.
No, they were sisters. They were
sisters.
Yes. And I couldn't. Sometimes I would have my house so spotless, I'll turn around and there's a mess, and I wouldn't know who would make the mess, whether it was the baby or it was the dog. Or both, right. So there were times when I would clean up the house. I would bring my dog and I'll leave her in my room. That way I can fix up the rest of the house. At the time she had her little cage there. And she was just a baby still. I put her in there, and then the baby knew how to open the gate, so the baby let the dog out her cage. And
She was trying to get her sister out.
it was just too much. I had an ornament, and it was brand new. We had just gotten it, and it was bitten on the side.
We don't know who it is because my niece
I
likes
don't
to
know.
bite
I
stuff.
didn't know who it was. I didn't know it was her or it was the dog. And my daughter had strong teeth, so I didn't know. But I kind of figured it was the dog. And so I got mad at both of them. Then another incident was this time we were potty training her too, and because our apartment had carpet, we were afraid that she might pee in the carpet or poop. And I put the dog back in the cage, and then we were at the supermarket. Like, wait, who left the dog out? I thought they put her back in, and nope.
That was her dying ride chick.
We went inside, and the somehow the dog was able to open the cage. The cage was like flipped over. Her food and everything was
my
flipped
God.
over, and the dog got out. The dog got out of her own cage. Like, who took her out? The baby, no, because the baby was in the car still.
She did it herself.
She did it herself. And then we found the kitchen, the garbage can. All the food was all out everywhere. That time, that dog had such runs everywhere.
That was like me. That happened to me for Thanksgiving. When I told you that I was cooking, I had told my son take out the garbage, and I pulled it out the garbage can. I don't remember if I tied it or not, so he must have forgot to. I came back. Actually, my significant other got there first because he's still with his mom, and I came to my dad, but he got home first. I come back home. Garbage was all over the kitchen floor. Part of the dining room. I was so upset, and I was so tired because I was cooking. My significant other was already there, and he saw the mess. And he just went about his business and went right upstairs to go lay down in the bed and left that there. You know how mad I was. I was so pissed off. So mad. And I know he's seen it because there was wine in the refrigerator. And I didn't buy any wine. And I didn't put no wine in the refrigerator. So I was really upset. And then yelled at him.
But like you said, sometimes when you say you can't, when you travel, you can't bring your dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my dog Mia. We couldn't take her either. We attempted to take her, but she was car sick. There were times we had to give her pills, and sometimes the pills weren't working for her. So she would throw up and poop on herself. One time I felt so bad for my oldest one. He was young at the time. Right now he's 16, so I say he was probably around 9 or 10 the most. And I felt bad because he was sitting in the back with Mia because we were going back to New York, and my significant other was just driving us back so we can take the bus back to New York. And my poor son, I felt so bad. I was so angry and mad because we were already running late. I knew we were gonna miss the bus, and I knew we were gonna miss the bus. You ain't helping me, Evelyn. That's not gonna go anywhere. You made it worse.
Okay, go ahead.
It's just the same. And I just felt bad for him because all of a sudden the dog wasn't feeling good. My son was like, she don't look good. And
Poor baby.
all of a sudden she threw up. Bleh. And then my son is like, oh my gosh, she threw up. She just threw up. And he was like, what should I do? And then a few seconds later, the dog poops.
Oh.
And wasn't like regular poop. It was diarrhea poop.
Oh.
So I mean, I felt so bad, and he's like trying to clean it. He's like, what am I gonna do with these wipes? You know, because we had the car wipes and stuff, and we put it in a bag. He goes, put it in a bag, and you know, he's like, I can't do this. And then we're yelling at him. I felt bad afterwards, but then we started cracking up because we didn't know we were in the middle of the road. We were driving. There was no place to stop. There was no garbage cans or anything to throw them out. And because we were on the highway, all of a sudden we just said, throw it out the window.
Oh my God. You're lucky there's no...
No, but it flew on top of the car behind us.
You can't.
I kid you not. We started dying. We were like, oh my God, I hope these people didn't come from.
I hope they didn't notice. Oh my God.
Oh, I remember.
I would have been pissed. I would have been so pissed.
Oh man.
Well, better out than in the car.
Another story with my dog. Oh man, my dog was... I'm telling you, dogs are just like kids. They just crack you up, the things that they do. Mm-hmm. My daughter and my dog were so... They were such a team. That there were times that my daughter would share her food with the dog, and then she would try to pick at her food. My dog was one of those high maintenance dogs. She didn't like those cheap Dollar Tree treats. My significant other bought her ones that peanut butter flavored. She didn't like those. Mm-hmm. She used to hide them underneath like the couches on the bed and stuff. And every time I would clean it, I'm like, what? I said, this dog didn't even eat it. You know, there were times like I said, my daughter was young. She would go underneath the couch, and I'm like hearing a crunch sound, and I'm like, what is she doing? She was eating my dog's treats. I was like,
I gotta tell you a story about my son, but different timing.
And
my niece.
Oh Lord, I said, I hope she don't get sick. And you know, like I said, you know, sometimes when the baby bathe the baby, the dog would jump right in the water with her. They did everything together. Everything together. So like I said, I didn't know who made the mess, who bit what, because they were both biting stuff. Again, I said my daughter was teething, so she was biting everything. My dog was also teething also, but it was just too much. Too much. And when I kind of figured when my dog did something wrong, I'm like, who did this? The dog would stare at me and run straight to the room.
Yeah, you know.
And hide. She would either go hide underneath my bed or go in her cage and look the other way. When I'm like, I know you did this, Mia. And she would not look at me. She won't budge for one second at all.
She was my dog.
She was actually scared of my significant other. When my significant other would come home and something was messed up and that was his, he would get mad and he would go look for Mia. Mia would run under the bed and she would close her eyes so tight because she was black. So the only thing you could see is her eyeballs. So she made sure she covered her eyes so you can't see her.
You can't see her.
It was too much. Oh man!
But they know, like my dogs, when they do something like an accident, whatever on the floor, and I just, who did this? And the culprit would either turn their head and walk slowly, like a shameful walk, and walk away. So I forgot to mention to you guys that the last video that we did was about the pets, and there was one story I have to tell you. I had went to Petco, one of those pet stores, and I had to get something for the dogs. And I walked there. I had my niece, my older niece, my godchild, my son, and my daughter. And I had to get something in there. I forgot what I had to get. I had to get something. And so, you know, I was walking through the store, went to go get what I had to get, and then the two oldest one, my goddaughter and my son, took off. They wandered off, went somewhere, but within the store. So then I finally met up with them. They were by a big cart where they had the dog treats, cookies and stuff. And it was like a whole bunch of cookie dessert treats for the dogs.
Don't tell me. I think I know where this is going. Go ahead.
So, my son, who's greedy, boy, if you have boys are like disposable garbage cans. And I happened to see him and my niece just eating the cookies there, like nothing. They were like, "This is pretty good. This is pretty good." So I'm over there laughing at them. And I'm like, "You know what you guys eating?" They was like, "Yeah, we eating cookies." Yeah, those are dog treats. Those are not for humans. Those are for dogs. They was like, "No, it's not. You gotta try." No, thank you. I'm not trying any. And they was like, "No, this is like regular human." No. Do you guys realize what store we're in? We're in Petco. This is
Where
not
the pets go.
where humans come and eat the food. This is for pets. And it was like, "Oh, I already ate about 3 of these cookies already." I'm like, "Oh my God." And then I had a lady. No, I had a lady right next to them looking at them eating the trees. Instead of her saying something, she was just letting them eat them. And the lady was like, "I thought these were," what she said, "I thought these were like human trees because they were just eating them like it was like nothing." I was like, "Oh my
Like free samples.
God." And I was like, "Stop eating the cookies." And they stopped eating the cookies. Well, I had to put that in there. I forgot to mention that in the pet story. Well, that was our story. I guess this topic was about our
Dogs.
pets. And when I'm talking about our pets. Stories. And we're probably going to have a lot more. Because my babies are still living with me. Just, Loca has an aquarium here.
What you do?
Thanks for watching. And hopefully you see our videos and give us a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Till next time.
Till next time. God bless.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.